Hey fam, welcome to Life More Abundantly, the podcast where we talk Black health like we talk everything else, real, out loud, and with love. I'm Dr. Eboni Haynes.
And I'm Dr. Tynisha Drennon.
We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's get into today's episode.
Let's be clear for the audience, we both have earned doctorate degrees.
And so y'all already know what kind of episode this is going to be. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Today's episode is nothing but tea. So, what's up?
Yes, well, I want to congratulate my co-host. This is our 20th episode. And that is why we are doing a celebratory episode on today.
Yes, I'm so excited. Woo, child, it took us a long time to get here.
But we've been doing it every week. We give you a quality episode. And so I'm so proud of us. Yay.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I couldn't have a better co-host. So, sis, thank you for everything. So I'm excited about today's episode. What we talk about today?
Okay, so this might trigger some folks, but we got a lot of tea to talk about today. Fortunately or unfortunately, it depends on how you see it. So I made the disclaimer that we both have earned doctorate degrees, even though our doctorates are different because, quote, doctor, end quote, Cheyenne Bryant has been lighting up our social media feed.
Oh, yes. Yes, child.
So for those of you who may not have been on social media and don't know what we're talking about, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant went on The Breakfast Club and initially gave an interview saying that she is no longer a licensed therapist because the only reason you need to be licensed is to accept insurance for payment. And that's basically a gag. And so she dropped that and became an independent therapist and is a direct pay, and it increases her bag.
Okay.
So there was a lot of, backlash about that because, yes, you do have to be licensed to bill insurance. However, licensure gives you a different level of accountability. It makes you have continuing education units. There is more to it than just being able to accept insurance. Let me just say that. Mm-hmm. And so there was a lot of back and forth about that where licensed professionals was coming at her neck about the accountability portion, as well as giving out correct information if we're going to use a platform.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You got that part. So then, I don't know why, but the social media sleuths started looking into her and was asking where she get her doctorate from. What's her dissertation on? Give us proof. And come to find out, her rebuttal when she came back on The Breakfast Club was first and foremost, F you, F your mama, F your cousins, F your friends.
Like no humility whatsoever.
And like Rachel Dozier, when she was pretending to be Black, she doubled down.
Oh, Rachel Dolezal?
Dolezal, thank you, who is also now a sex therapist. So
does she have an earned doctorate?
We got to figure it out. And so, come to find out, her excuse was that I didn't hear it in the Breakfast Club interview, but she had a fire and all of her diplomas and degrees and dissertation, all the things burnt up in a fire, and which made people be like, oh no. Well, can you get your transcript from the school? Can you show us that?
Part.
Don't you have some pictures in your phone in your cap and gown?
Right.
With the 3 bars, in case anybody want to know why I posted my picture this morning. Okay, I'm so sorry. It shouldn't be this funny to us. And she said she went to what university was it, Ebony?
A Grossi?
A Grossi University online, and that the school closed, and thousands of people had their doctorate degrees, had degrees from them. The school closed, and she said she went to get her transcript, and the school or whoever had her transcripts at the time said that because the school closed, you can have all your money back,
Mm.
and you can either have all your money back and the degree is wiped away, or you can not have your money back, hold on to your degree, but you can't get your transcript.
Hmm.
Questionable,
Mm-hmm.
questionable. And
Okay.
so, go ahead. You want to say something about that?
I'm so confused right now. Is she trying to say that if your university closed, that your degree is no longer valid?
Well, she's saying that she had an option. So she said she didn't do that, but she doesn't have any proof that she had her doctorate because the school closed. Now, I do want to say Argosy University, who I thought was closed, done got in the mix. And today they posted
Oh
all
no.
records and transcripts are still accessible on our online portals. Any degrees that have been conferred to actual graduates are
Not
also still
actual
available
graduate.
for the record. It said for the record.
And so
Now,
that's the other thing I was so confused about, because my understanding is that even if your university closes, there is a requirement for them to ensure before they shut their doors, and that there is some oversight over this, that they transfer all of your records
right.
to another institution who will house your records, so that if you need a transcript, if you need proof that you attended the university between whatever years, that information is still available. It just doesn't disappear.
Just doesn't disappear. And for me,
Hmm.
unfortunately, I'm a little bit familiar with this process because I got my
Mm-hmm.
doctorate from New York Theological Seminary, and I have a doctorate of ministry in pastoral counseling. So see how I'm able to articulate what my
Mm-hmm.
doctorate is, and we're going to get to yours too. And the school did I happened to go back to ask for my transcript, and the school had closed, and I didn't get a
Okay.
notification that they were closing. But when I requested the transcript, they told me to go to Columbia Theological Seminary, and they had my bound dissertation, another distinction, and that
Mm-hmm.
they also had my official transcripts. I said, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. So then Parchment comes along. So when someone else
Oh
asks
yeah.
for it, they're like, just go on Parchment. They have all
Mm-hmm.
of the transcripts for
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Good
Mm-hmm.
job, Parchment. I don't know how they came about, but they got all of our stuff. So you could get your
Mm-hmm.
transcript. And so, it leads to, once again, a lack of credibility on
Mm-hmm.
this woman's part. And she kind of opened the door to this Pandora's box that has now fallen out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't really want to talk about this because a few months ago, there was a big debate about the hierarchy of degrees. And there are
Mm-hmm.
several types of doctorates,
Right.
THD, EDD. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I have a DMin, which is Doctor of Ministry. Ebony, you have.
A PhD.
Do we want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about like the differences?
As it relates to this story, I'm confused about whether it's an earned doctorate or an honorary doctorate. There
Well,
seems to be a lot of confusion about that too.
or is it an imaginary doctorate?
Well, the jury seems to still be out on that one. So, with that, yes, let's talk about at least the difference between an earned doctorate and an honorary doctorate. An earned doctorate is one where an individual enrolls into a doctoral program, whether that's a doctor of philosophy or a PhD, an EDD, a doctorate of education,
Yeah.
like you, D-Min, doctor of ministry. And you could have doctor of law, you could have
Uh-huh.
a, doctor in so many areas,
Right.
right?
Of course, MD, right?
Right,
Medical
right,
doctor.
which is a
Mhm.
professional doctorate, right?
Uh-huh.
Like a JD.
Uh-huh.
Those are a little bit different. With an earned doctorate, what happens is, like I said, you enroll in an educational course of study at a university where you have to not only take classes, but then you have to do some type of research or some type of project that
Right.
allows you to articulate that you have learned all of these things through your classes or through your practical experience in the field. And then there is a requirement that you do a written project where you synthesize all of that learning, and you have a committee that reviews it to make sure that you know what you're talking about before they release you out into these streets.
Mhm.
And then it's published, right? You
Mhm.
go through your university's process to get your dissertation published. So the university confers you a degree that indicates that you have earned your doctorate, that you
Mhm.
have studied, that you have done the field work, that you have done the research that's required. It has been reviewed, approved by your committee, who is made up of individuals who have doctorates and
That's right.
experience in
That's
these
right.
areas, right? And then you go to graduation. If you decide to do so, you're hooded and you're a doctor, right? You can literally be called doctor.
Mhm.
Although, side note, if you're going to say doctor at the beginning of your name in written correspondence or on your professional letter, don't put also your
Your
the
degree.
letters behind
Right,
your
right. You got the
name.
one or the other.
One or the other. Okay, I'm sorry. That thing just burns me up every time I see it. Okay, so that's an earned doctorate. However, you can, at some universities, receive credit for the work that you've done in the field
Right,
toward your earned doctorate.
right,
So let's say your university says, we'll give you 18 units of course credit for your work in the field because
right,
you have been working in this field for a long time or what have you, or you've made significant contributions to that field. But you still have to complete all the other units
right. To
toward
have an
graduation. Correct. There
yes.
are some universities who do that, and it's legit. It's been cleared by the accrediting bodies, no problem. That still gives you what you need toward an earned doctorate.
Mhm.
All right. On the flip side, with an honorary doctorate is more symbolic. It
Okay.
is a university acknowledging that you have done phenomenal work in a particular field of endeavor,
Mhm.
but it does not indicate that you have studied, you have done coursework, that your work has been reviewed by individuals at the university at that same level. And so an honorary doctorate is usually, again, symbolic. And yes, it's a doctorate, it's an honorary doctorate, but because it was not earned, the doctor title does not go along with it.
And I think a lot of people misunderstand that, especially in our Black and brown communities. They get these
Hmm.
honorary doctorates and they call themselves doctor. Hell, in Black and brown communities, men get called doc and they don't got a GED.
That's true, especially in the church.
In the church, and we still getting called sis.
Right.
So,
We got more education than
and
everybody.
then everybody, and none of that is respected. And so the issue, the seriousness of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is, I think, about transparency, right? Because she's
Hmm.
calling herself a therapist, which is another issue, right? You cannot be a therapist without licensure. You can be a life coach, you can be a counselor, things of that nature, but you cannot be a therapist without a licensing body allowing you to do that. So a lot of times you'll hear me say, I'm board certified. Now there's a board certification process, and I went through that. I'm a
Okay.
board certified Christian counselor.
Hmm.
And when people ask me, do I take insurance? I tell them I am not licensed and I'm not a therapist, so I cannot take insurance. Now,
Okay.
you can be licensed without a doctorate degree, which was another portion that she mentioned. And she said, all you have to do is study and you can take the test and you can become a licensed therapist or a licensed counselor. That is not
Okay.
altogether true as well, because you also have to have supervision before you become a licensed clinician. So you are
Hmm.
supervised in the work that you're doing, as you indicated, you're doing the work, but you're being
Mhm.
supervised by someone who is licensed. And
Okay.
then once they sign off on however many hours you have to do, then you can take the test and become licensed.
Okay.
So there's still a process. And so I think in everything that we're doing, we just have to be transparent. Now, I think if she had been more transparent, it would have legitimized the work, right? And
Mhm.
so there are a lot of people saying, making jokes, which as we are that are humorous, that, we take advice from all kinds of people, especially on the
Yeah.
internet, right? We take advice or people take advice from about health, about life, about money, all kinds of things from
Mhm.
people who have absolutely no credentials whatsoever,
Mhm.
except for, a PhD in hoodology, which is legit too, depending on where you're from.
Right.
And so, if she had been just transparent about her journey, I think she wouldn't have gotten into all of this critique that's coming from online. And so, I think it's about being transparent and being accountable for the information that we're putting out into the world, which is what we try and do
Yeah.
here.
Well, the funny thing is, I didn't even know who this lady was until all
Me
of this
neither.
stuff hit the fan on social media. And the very first thing, even before all of this came out, the very first thing that I remember seeing was around the time when the dress
Mm,
made headlines,
yes.
right? I remember seeing a picture of her in a
Mm-hmm.
see-through dress with
Mm-hmm.
teal bra and panties. And I was like, I don't even know who this lady is, but you know,
Doing too much.
now
Mm-hmm.
right, now, though, because this has come out, now I'm connecting the 2, right? Is they are one and the same people, so, anyway, for those of you who, may not be as clued in into this academic space, I think it's important for us to talk about this. I don't know what the case is. If she has a doctorate in, what was it, counseling psychology, it
Whatever. But Argosy,
Argosy.
them people,
Mhm.
they did not confirm nor deny.
Nor did I. Well, neither did the University of Pennsylvania when people were asking if Donald Trump graduated
Well,
from
well,
Wharton.
that's true. Although a Wharton professor did say he was the dumbest student he ever encountered, so that gave us I don't know if he graduated, but he took a class.
Oh my gosh. This is a mess.
Yeah.
So, I think anytime that you are deciding to be an influencer,
Yes,
right, there is going to be public scrutiny of your life. And
absolutely.
then, when you decide that you're going to go on a reality TV show, there's going to be even more scrutiny.
Right.
Then when you're going to go in on the Breakfast Club and say F everybody,
Yeah.
there's going to be even more scrutiny. So,
Mhm.
what are some of the takeaways from this, especially for those who are seeking to move into this influencer space?
I think that people love honesty and respect
Mm.
honesty. So
Mhm.
that's my number one takeaway, to be honest, to be transparent, and to be humble. I think
Mhm.
there's a fine line between humility and arrogance, and sometimes all of us waver it. But she
Mhm.
not only crossed the line, but she took the bar to a whole nother level.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so those of us who are in academic spaces or who have earned doctorates, we are definitely giving Cheyenne Bryant the side eye until she produces that paper.
Yes. And I don't even know if she could walk this back at this point. She said she wasn't going to talk about it anymore, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what lies ahead for her. There may be many people that she's helped. There may be many more people that will come to her and seek her for whatever advice they need and pay for those resources. And good luck to y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, and then for those of you who are seeking services from individuals, I think it is important for you to ask the questions. Ask the questions about, what credentials the individual has. Ask them, if they're board certified, if
Hmm.
they are licensed in their
Hmm.
particular state. It's okay for you to ask those questions. And I'll be
Absolutely.
honest, there was a time where One of my sons was visiting a healthcare provider, and there were some things that happened that made us wonder whether this individual was licensed or board
Mm,
certified. The individual was both, and because the individual was both, we had the opportunity to file a complaint with several different organizations
mm,
about the care that that person was providing.
good point.
And that person's information ended up coming off the website. It didn't look like that person was receiving new patients or
Mm.
seeing clients anymore. And so you do want to make sure that you're asking the right questions and making sure that the providers that you're seeing are credentialed.
That's a great point, Ebony, because when you're licensed, there's a different hierarchy in who you can file a complaint with. Now, if someone is providing services that is not licensed, that does not mean that you don't have legal recourse if harm
Mhm.
is done, because one of the first things that we are all taught is to do no harm. So if harm is done
Mhm.
intentionally, and sometimes even unintentionally, then yes, you still have a right to file a complaint. And that is why any of us who are in this field, including pastors, really should
Mhm.
have malpractice insurance, which again varies between the spaces, but we should have that type of insurance to make sure that people have a recourse. Of course, nobody wants to be sued or accused of malfeasance,
Mhm.
but if you are a person who has suffered, then you deserve to be able to hold that person accountable.
Mhm. For sure. All right. Well, I'm sure there will be more to come.
And speaking of more to come, the other thing that's lighting up our timelines and official news media, I believe, is that the Black community is really upset with Kevin Hart. For those of you who don't know why, on Mother's Day, of all days, Netflix aired a
Mhm.
live episode where it was called The Roast of Kevin Hart. Now, I'm going to tell you the issue that the Black community, whoever we are, because it's funny to me how they lump us together. And we don't have a spokesperson.
I mean, Dr. Jamal Bryant would be happy to be your spokesperson.
Shut up. We'll get to him in a minute.
Spokesperson for all things blackity black, black, black.
Black, 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 blackity black.
And
Especially if Al Sharpton not talking. It's him. I know they get on a call like, you got this or I got, man, you go ahead.
you got, you got this one, man.
I'm sorry, we need one more black leader to rise up. Just one more to speak for us. And can you take a Gallup poll on what we want you to say? Okay, I digress. So, the Black community is upset with Kevin Hart's roast because, it was degrading, as roasts are, and
Mhm.
they took shots at multiple people on the DS, which apparently is a trend.
I don't know why. I mean, since when did being on the dais become something that you do in TV productions?
Well, they do it in roast. I have seen a couple of roasts, but this one was odd because, well, it was odd for several reasons. It was odd because of the people that Kevin Hart selected to be part of the
Mhm.
roast. It was odd because there were multiple people on the Diaz who didn't even speak, including Tiffany Haddish. Odd.
Mm.
And then it's odd because there were some people that didn't get roasted at all that were on the DS. So it's like,
Mm.
well, why are they here? Why didn't they get roasted? But my mind
Mhm.
is boggled because if we here to roast Kevin Hart, why we got to roast all the people on the DS?
That was my question. It was just weird. I can't say that I've been to a lot of roasts,
Never been to
um,
one.
but it was just strange to me.
One of the things that was odd to me, listeners, was that one of the participants is a known MAGA supporter and has made
Mhm.
many racist comments in the past. And it's just like, why would a black man choose this man to be part of his roast? I also
That
thought it
part.
was odd that what's his name? Shane Gillis?
Gillis. Mhm.
Was the host. Like, Kevin Hart, you're a black man in this industry. There are a lot of black entertainers, a lot of black comedians that could have been the host of this roast if you were going to participate in this.
Mhm.
And so, back to what the black community seems to be angry about are two things. The first one that is circulating that is causing the most outrage is that there was a joke made that the Black community is so proud of Kevin Hart that George Floyd is looking up from below and he's saying, "I can't breathe."
Hmm. Yeah.
There's nothing funny about that to
Nothing
us.
at all. Nothing at all.
And to me, right, the overarching theme of a roast is that you come for the person you're roasting. What does George
Right.
Floyd have to do with this?
Not a damn thing.
It's a slap in the face to the Black community at large, but to me, it is more than a slap on the face. It's like a knock in the head to the family of George Floyd.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure. Because they didn't need to be brought into this at all. It was very inappropriate.
Very
And there's
inappropriate.
no way that you can't even explain that away. There's
Mhm.
no reason for you to invoke the spirit of George Floyd in this comedy event.
In this
None
family, right?
whatsoever.
Right. And it was a written joke, written by white writers, said by
Mhm.
a white man. It
Mhm.
wouldn't have been funny to me if a Black person said it, but
Right.
for white people, have always been, extortionists of our pain.
Mhm.
It just really, ripped a Band-Aid off of a
Right.
wound that I don't think we're fully healed from. I'm not fully healed from that.
No,
When I
for
hear
sure we're not.
yeah.
And, and it was also interesting to see the audience's reaction
Mm.
when he said the joke. People were visibly like, "I cannot believe he's just said that."
Yeah.
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 And for me, the other piece of this is, as you see throughout the show, there were comedians and others who came on the stage who skipped jokes.
Yes.
So even if the white writer of the
Mhm.
joke
Mhm.
got it wrong,
Mhm.
the white person standing at the podium could have gotten it right by saying, "No, we're gonna skip past that one."
Absolutely. As well as there was, and I can't remember who said it, there was one white comedian who said, "They said be racist, so Imma be racist."
Yes.
Who is they?
Who is they? Was it Netflix?
Because if it's
Because
Netflix, we can cancel this
I'm about
$21 subscription that keep going up
hello.
every 2 months now.
Hello. Yes, this was so bad that
Mhm.
literally that was the thing that I was looking for people to call for after
Yes.
this aired, right? And I haven't seen it yet. Who's calling for the cancellation of Netflix?
I have not heard it. I need clarity. Who is they said?
Hmm.
Because if Netflix said that
I'm sure it was the producers,
mhm.
right? But it also appeared that the jokes were shared with the comedians or the
Mhm.
presenters ahead of time because
Yes.
there were also several times where people said, "I asked Kevin if I could say this,"
Yes.
and he was good with it.
And so Kevin was aware. There were times when Kevin was like, "You gotta read it. You gotta read it."
Right.
And Kevin was laughing at these jokes, which is horrific as well. And then the second joke that nobody that well, I would say a lot of people are not talking about, but you and I talked about that I found outrageous, is someone said, "Kevin Hart, you're so short. If we were gonna lynch you, we would need a bonsai tree."
Mhm. Yeah, and that was early into the show.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
find nothing funny about no lynching
At
jokes.
all. We can't talk about lynching.
We don't
We
make
Black
money,
people don't talk about
and
lynching.
if we talk about it, we certainly not making no jokes about it.
Right.
And Black men
Right.
are still being lynched, and so how a
Mhm.
white man making a joke about lynching a Black man?
Mhm.
Nah,
Mhm.
nah. This ain't even kitchen table funny to me.
Right. It's not. It's not at all.
And so there are people who are saying, a roast is a roast. This is what happened at roast. The audience is too sensitive now. We're caught up in too much in cancel culture. It just is what it is. And I don't think it should be. It is what it is. I do think that somebody should be held accountable, whether it's the
Mhm.
writers, whether it's Kevin Hart, whether it's Netflix. And I love Kevin Hart. He's from Philly. I'm from Philly. I do think Kevin
Mhm.
Hart is funny. I think he was funny
Mhm.
that night. There are a lot
Right.
of movies that I don't think is funny that he's been
Right.
in, but, overall, I like him, and this has really tainted him for me.
Yeah. It causes me to rethink who Kevin Hart is as it relates to my support of him
Mhm,
because now I'm thinking about his decision making
mhm.
and whether because he has elevated so far up in his career that now he's kind of losing sight of who he is and
Yeah.
what community he really belongs to.
Right.
Because I even could sense from the audience's reactions other things that made people very uncomfortable that Kevin Hart seemed to be okay with. Like him wrapping his car around the tree and almost dying.
Right.
There were some other dark jokes that were not directed at Kevin Hart that
You
were
go
just
ahead.
completely inappropriate. And so for Kevin to know that this was the script and to say he was good with it,
Mhm.
and this was a almost 3-hour long show.
It was long.
I think I watched about an hour and I had had enough. I'm sorry, but even when Regina Hall got up there and was talking about the messages that she was getting from Kevin Hart's dead mother, it just made me cringe.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
seemed to think they were funny jokes, but I wouldn't ever want anyone getting up and talking about my dead relatives and things that they are saying to me.
Right.
So there were
Right.
just so many things that were
Right.
off base, and it seemed like Kevin Hart was good with them.
And you had mentioned them bringing up Cheryl Underwood's husband. Talk about that a little bit.
Mm. Whew. Yeah. So, for those of you who are not aware, Cheryl Underwood's husband committed suicide just a couple years into their marriage. And there were several jokes made in just the first hour that I watched of it about the fact that Cheryl Underwood's husband had committed suicide.
Mhm.
One joke really rubbed me the wrong way. And it was the one, and I think Tony Hinchcliffe was sitting beside Cheryl Underwood. I could be wrong, but I think it was him. But when he got up, he talked about how he had only been sitting beside Cheryl Underwood for 20 minutes. He doesn't know how her husband lasted as long as he did.
Come on, man.
Right. And at some point, and I know we talk about what's the line in the
Right.
sand when it
Right.
comes to comedy, especially as it has related to like Dave Chappelle and some of the things that
Mhm.
he said, Cat Williams, some of the things that he said. But Cheryl Underwood was not the one being roasted that night.
Exactly.
So, like others on the dais, so why were other people's personal lives being brought into this, especially the very sensitive
Right.
situations
The
like the death
topics.
of Cheryl Underwood's husband?
Right. And, I'm glad that you brought up Cheryl Underwood because I also felt like, right, we could list. There were homophobic jokes, there was body shaming, there was colorism, and I did not like at a black man's roast that Cheryl Underwood's color was brought up so many times, the complexion of
Mhm.
her skin. We
Mhm.
are in an age where we are past that. And I just feel like that is not something that should be addressed by black people anymore to demean another black woman, especially in public. And
Right.
they kept comparing Cheryl Underwood to a man, to looking like a
Yes.
man, which
Mhm.
I
They
felt
sure
like
did.
one is not true, but two is
Right.
so inappropriate. I mean, Cheryl Underwood was sitting up there with an afro and a purple rain suit.
Mhm.
There were so many
Beautiful
things we could
afro.
have came for Cheryl Underwood on other than these types of issues. I
Right.
didn't like it. They kept referring to Lizzo, who was there, as fat, and Lizzo has lost a lot of
Mhm.
weight, but even if she didn't,
Mhm.
that's what we doing. We body shaming black women now.
Right.
I thought we were beyond that.
Especially with her music being
Mm-mm. Vulnerable
something that
about that.
promotes right, something that promotes being comfortable in your own skin, and I know she's
Hmm.
had her own issues too with
Yes.
people filing lawsuits against her for body shaming, but knowing that history,
Hmm.
why would you feed into it during this event?
During this event, right. So to me, especially as an aspired comedian and part of the black community, like we used to call it the dozens and we make your mama jokes and stuff like that. If you're going to quote unquote roast somebody, you talk about them, right?
Mhm.
You talk about deficits in them. But even so, I think there's a line. And yes, in comedy there is a fine line. But I just think in this era, there are things that we don't do publicly. We shouldn't do them privately, but we know black
Right.
people, we make fun of a lot of things privately.
Mhm.
Again, black people to other black
Mhm.
people who don't
Mhm.
allow white people to make fun of us.
Right.
I also, even though she's not black, I was uncomfortable with the amount of sexual jokes that were made about
Chelsea Handler?
yeah,
Mhm.
they just kept coming for her on the amount of people she had
Mhm.
slept with and so forth and so on. And I also think in this era even though it's not for me, that we need to stop shaming women for their body count. When the
Right.
men up there,
Right.
many, not only
Especially when
this a high body count, but unscrupulous.
mhm.
So yes, all the things.
So all the things.
So yeah, so Black people, leave your comments if you think they went too far or didn't on our podcast. You are entitled to your opinion. We would love to hear them. Segueing, Dr. Jamal Bryant, who you just brought up,
The spokesperson for the Black
the
community.
spokesperson for the Black people, and maybe that's why Black people are upset. And we will talk about Cat Williams being there in just a minute. But Jamal Bryant posts Doctor, earned doctor.
Earned doctorate. For the record.
For the record, he does have an earned doctorate. The Kevin Hart read says, quote, the Kevin Hart roast wasn't comedy. It was disrespect dressed as jokes. In this climate, for it to go unchecked is to give consent, end quote. And I agree with that. And for
Mhm.
people to call us insensitive, you're wrong.
Mhm.
It needs to be checked. And then someone came for him in this same post and said, quote, why are you watching secular programming? End quote.
Excuse me?
What? First of all, even if he didn't
Okay.
watch the whole thing, it's blowing up our timelines.
Right. Exactly.
His members is
Exactly.
talking about it. They talking about it in the grocery store. Well, he ain't in the grocery store. His driver is talking about it. Like, what?
I mean, it's coming up on his social media feed. Like, I saw all of the news
Before
articles
you saw the roast.
before I even saw the roast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And so because we're trying to be respectable journalists, you went ahead and watched the roast.
I did. Or
So,
at least the first hour. That's
right.
all I could
So
take.
what I want to say about this in particular is that anybody with an earned seminary degree, as Dr. Bryant has, as Dr. Eboni has, as Dr. Tynisha has. One of the first things that we are taught in
Mhm.
preaching classes is that a
Correct.
responsible preacher, clergy person preaches
Mhm.
with the Bible in one hand, and what's the other part, Doc?
The newspaper in the other.
The newspaper in the other. We don't have
Mhm.
newspapers no more. We have social media. So we got to find our news on the internet, not just social media, but we do look at credible
Right.
sources. But yes, that is our responsibility. And it
Mhm.
is our responsibility as Black people, and it always has been, to address things that are harmful to the Black community from our
Right.
pulpits as well.
That's right. That's right.
And nobody does that better than Jamal Bryant. I might tune in
Mhm.
because
You're right.
he gonna get it together. And so people are healing Cheryl Underwood because she came on stage and was like, listen, if you had said wicked trigger, anything close to it, you wasn't
Right.
gonna make it out of this joint.
That's
And so
right.
people appreciated that she was like, now,
Mhm.
listen, I'm not reading all that mess on the teleprompter. Like, some of
That's
this
right.
stuff is out of control
Mhm.
now. And
Mhm.
so, she tried to course correct, and even though it still continued to go left. So I want to honor both of them. Now, a lot of people are also saying, okay, y'all done got so sensitive and caught up in all of this other stuff that has gone on that people are forgetting that Cat Williams showed up, and Cat Williams and Kevin Hart have had beef forever.
Mhm.
Not only did Cat
Mhm.
Williams show up, give him a rose, but Kevin Hart allegedly, well, I don't want to say allegedly, but Kevin Hart got up and said, Cat Williams, let's squash our beef. Let's be friends from this moment forward. And people are
Mhm.
saying, oh, people miss that. And the fact that these two men squashed their beef has been overlooked. But let's circle back to Kevin Hart. If you
Mhm.
watch the entire roast, when Kevin Hart gets up there to respond to the roast, one of the things he says is, a lot of people have talked about how horrible an actor I am. Cat Williams came out here. Yeah, he killed it. But when I went up to him and said, let's squash this and let's be friends, that's some of the best acting I've ever done in my life. F Cat Williams.
Ooh, see, this is why I
Ooh,
should have watched it to the end, right?
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And maybe these people who are like, oh, Cat Williams and Kevin Hart squashed their beef, didn't watch it to the end.
They didn't watch it to
I
the
didn't like
end.
that either.
Oh, no. No.
Don't fake apologize.
Yeah. it was very apparent that this was done to make a whole lot of folks some money,
And
right? And
a
there were
lot of them said
several
that.
comedians said it, right? They were very clear about why they were there. And so at what point do we realize that all money ain't good money?
Ain't good money. And Cat R. Williams did say that. Like, I'm here for this check, but I've declined a
Exactly.
whole lot of movies. All
Look,
money ain't good money. And
all
Kevin
money
Hart
ain't
got
good
enough
money.
money. Like, come on, man.
Right. Right. Yeah, Kevin was good with people even making jokes about his wife and things that they wanted to do to his wife.
Yeah.
And you hear him jokingly say, keep her out of this.
Right, but he's
Keep my wife
laughing.
out of this. But he's
Yeah.
laughing.
And he
And
approved these
so,
jokes.
and he approved these jokes. So at what
Mhm.
point, again, do we say, enough is enough? I'm going to respect the community that I
Right.
represent. All money ain't good money. Netflix, you can go kick rocks.
You can go kick rocks. And Netflix, you probably don't listen to our podcast, but anybody listens to our
I'm sure they
podcast.
don't. But you know what? Let the record show.
You let it show.
Let the record show that earned doctorate, Tynisha, earned doctorate, Eboni, we're calling for a wholesale boycott of Netflix.
Of Netflix, if we find out, because we got to find out first, Ebony. We got to find out, because I like Netflix. But Netflix, if we find out, if anybody find out, if you told them to be racist, you are done,
Look,
done, done.
Done. So I'm gonna need you to at least do something. Who's
Make a
the
statement,
writer?
say something. I don't know. It was a lot of
Right.
writers, but it wasn't Black people in that room.
The writers of the racist jokes. Who are they? I want to see them. Where they at?
And I want them canceled. That's what I want. So somebody find out who they are. I mean,
Well,
you know,
internet
we can
sleuths.
live
Y'all
it.
been all over it with Doctor in quotation marks Cheyenne Bryant.
Right.
Find out who these writers are. These
Internet
racist
sleuths,
jokes.
you get to it.
That's right. Nobody does it better than the internet sleuths.
Yes, yeah, they got to get it together. Y'all on notice that this was not okay.
Let's be clear. Kevin Hart does not speak for the Black community. So even if he approved these jokes, no, we're not okay with them.
Never. Well, I've never even heard him say anything on behalf of the Black community. So, I don't know. I think he also gave, because there's a lot of Kevin Hart, and I'm going to put in quote haters, because sometimes haters, well, a lot of times haters is a negative connotation for people who are jealous, but there are some people who are not jealous, who are haters, like legit haters of Kevin Hart, not because they're jealous, but because they don't like the moves that he makes. And Cat Williams would be one of those people as well, who have called out moves that Kevin Hart has made, that is making people not want to rock with him. Now, I didn't like this. And then when Kevin Hart called out his endorsers, one of them was Walmart. I didn't like that either.
Oh, not CPAC's Walmart. Okay.
Not what's the people that what's it officially called with the ice and the cages Walmart? Yeah, them people. Walmart supports that. Walmart pays for the kids to be in cages before they're deported. Walmart that doesn't pay their workers full-time salaries, but makes them work overtime and doesn't pay them. Walmart,
Right. And they've been doing that for years.
who doesn't give Black and brown people good benefits. Walmart, who doesn't promote in the C-suites Black and brown people. That Walmart. I was very uncomfortable with that too. And so that, even right now, even saying that, does something in my stomach to know someone from North Philly knows the grime
Yeah.
would not only be endorsed by Walmart, but would then shout them out so that we could all know that
Right.
he's endorsed by Walmart. So,
Right.
Kev, I don't know. You've put out a lot of fake apologies before. I don't know.
He was acting.
He was acting.
He was acting.
He's a great
Sound
actor.
like, he needs to turn in his black card.
For sure. Which some may say he did a long time ago. But I digress. Neo says that his polyamorous relationship has cost him work opportunities. And for those of you who are not hip, unlike us, nope, I just learned what polyamorous means 3 weeks ago. It means that it is an open relationship where everybody knows about each other, and they all, I think with him, they all live in the same house. Sometimes they don't live in the same house, but everybody knows about each other. And really, I don't know any polyamorous women who got multiple men, except for on All the King's Men, which is a TV show. But in real life, especially the men got all of these different women.
Right. Yeah, like Elon Musk got all his baby mamas living in the same house. We don't see him losing any opportunities or government contracts.
Well, that escalated quickly.
So you talked about the black tax last week, right? And so Neo is feeling it. Like we can't do what they do and expect to get the same opportunities, right?
Well, first of all, can I just say, Ninja, please? First of all, I don't believe this story any more than I believe Cheyenne has a doctorate. Let me just say, there's a post trending right now, back to that, where people are highlighting Queen Latifah as a commencement speaker, and she said,
it says, be delusional enough to call yourself something that the world hasn't called you yet. Be brave enough to walk down a road that no one else can see but you. Yes, she did. She was at North Carolina A&T State University.
Thank you. And she meant it in the most positive way ever.
She did.
But the fact that it says delusional. Oh God, you got to read the room, the entire room when you use these type of words. She meant imagine it, speaking into existence.
That's right.
She meant manifested.
She said manifest that degree.
Yes. Which I do believe. I started calling myself doctor at like 17 when I hadn't even gone to college yet, and now here I am. I manifested it, but okay. So back to Neo. So Neo, you are delusional. I don't think anybody is not calling Neo for work because he got these 3 Playboy bunnies living in your household, right? And you left your wife and the kids you had with her. Nobody is not calling you because of that. Ask Kevin Hart.
I mean, yeah, because they talked about Kevin Hart's affair.
Yeah, right in front of his wife. And that's her second wife. And that's her second wife. So nobody is not calling you because of this. Maybe they're not calling you because you said you was looking for an independent woman and you got 3 living off of you. Maybe they don't feel a need for your whiny voice in the midst of this Chris Brown and Usher tour that's coming along. Right. Maybe. Okay, let me stop because it's starting to feel like a roast. I don't want to be a hypocrite right now, but I'm just saying.
The other piece of this is like, what black man you know putting his business out there in the street since R. Kelly, right? That he got 3 women in the house living with him.
Exactly. He says, in quote, it's almost like you can be a great person, show respect and appreciation, but the second you do something that people don't agree with, you're canceled. Neo, you are not canceled.
He's not canceled.
And I just want to shout out DC Banks from the Griot and Facebook. He said, Neo, you just have to have the right kind of sponsors. Trojan, HPV detection kits.
Yes,
Lube, Vaseline, Lysol disinfectant, right? The white van people, and Clorox wipes, as well as an advocate for regular doctor visits. Right.
And all the birth control.
All the birth controls and Plan B, if you could get it in whatever state you reside in.
I mean, we're
So
giving him the blueprint right here.
we are giving you the
Mm-hmm.
blueprint. Like, just know
Yep.
your lane. I'm
Right.
certain that Viagra needs a new jingle. You got
There
it.
you go. That's all you, Neo. That's all you.
That's all you just, know your lane right
Mm-hmm.
now. Now is not the time for you to be trying to skateboard across the stage when you see Chris Brown and Usher about to be on R&B tour. This not your time, man. You got to wait till
That's
they get
right.
tired and sit down. And
That's
then
right.
you and John B come back and do a tour at City Winery. And we got you.
Mm-hmm. We got
We
you.
got you. We
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah. But no, for real, you probably do need to go ahead and get connected to Trojans so
Mm.
you can make sure that the Trojans are out at the
Yeah.
Usher,
Yeah.
Chris Brown concert so the people can protect themselves.
Exactly. Get on with lifestyle too. Chosen don't want you, get on with lifestyle.
That part.
Skins. Wait, now I'm
Right.
naming too many condom. Listen,
Sis, we gotta know. We gotta
mind your
know.
business. Right. I'm an educate. Yes, I'm using my platform for education. I
That's
do
right.
research, not, not,
That's
not
right.
personal. It's not about me. It's personal. I
Mm-hmm.
do the research for
Gotta
y'all.
make sure
So
we know
that's
what we
all I'm
talking about
saying. All right.
so we can educate y'all.
I think that's our show for the day. Is it?
Man, that was a great one.
Yes.
Good
I liked
topics.
it. I
Very
feel
timely.
I felt very Wendy
Yeah.
Williams-ish. Shout out to Wendy Williams. I miss you,
How
girl.
you
How
doing?
you doing?
Oh my goodness. All right, fam. Well, we know that y'all are going to have questions and comments. So drop us an email. Let us know what you're thinking about our episode. Send us a message at podcast@enjoylifemoreabundantly.com. And if this conversation helped you, make sure you share it with somebody, but also make sure that you are liking and subscribing to our podcast so that you don't miss an episode.
Please and thank you. Please and thank
Yes.
you. And thank you to all of our consistent listeners. We really appreciate you. It's very
For sure.
encouraging. And so this is our 20th episode. We wouldn't keep pushing if it wasn't for y'all. Please share it with somebody. Please have someone
Mm-hmm.
listen. Please put it on your social media platform so that we can get a little bit more exposure and continue to do this work. We'll be back next week with a very
Mm-hmm.
enlightening and educational and uplifting episode.
For sure. So until next week,
Enjoy life.
and life more abundantly.
Cheers!